Hey guys, how's it going today? So I want to do a technical analysis on Litecoin. It's been a while since I've touched on it, so I think that it deserves a little bit of respect. So let's talk about Bitcoin first, because Bitcoin does end up dictating the majority of everything going on, right? Bitcoin finished off with a very beautiful engulfing, well, not an engulfing candle, but a very bullish green candle with decent volume as well. So because I think that Bitcoin is in a correction phase right now, guys. The reason I say this is because Bitcoin's got a hanging man right here, right? And it's got a doji candle as well. So whenever we get a doji candle like this, it signals to the market that it's almost correction time at the top. Not only that, a hanging man candle is very implicative as well, with volume slowly fading. So we got to keep this in mind before we take a look at Litecoin. So let's talk about Litecoin on a very detailed level, but not too detailed today because I'm a little bit tired and I want to just do a quick roundup here for Litecoin. So we see that it got a very beautiful dragonfly doji, and yesterday finished off with the same type of candle that Bitcoin did as well, but we haven't exactly crossed over quite yet, right? We're waiting for it to level off until it gets to the positive histogram side on Litecoin. That's where we're going to see a lot of more bullish momentum. Litecoin's number 5 right now in CoinMarketCap as always, at 2.89% gain, and the volume is actually slowly decreasing already. We have to keep in mind that Litecoin 2 days ago hit the peak at about $600 million, and then during the correction phase, it slowly started to decline at about $504 million. And today, because there's a slow sell-off that's happening, it looks like it's about to level off at about 450 million. But of course, we've got tons of time left in the 24-hour time frame. So Litecoin, guys, it's been doing incredibly well so far, right? I mean, let's take a look at it on a 3-hour chart. Okay, yeah, this will do fine. If we look at Litecoin on a 3-hour chart here, we see that there's 5 waves going up right here, okay? That is the 5 waves going up, and these structures right here must have been the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 coming down. So I'm just going to show you guys how these corrective patterns are played. So if this was A, if that was B, then that is most likely C down over there. And then we have 5 waves coming down. 1, 2, basically this is 3, that's a symmetric triangle, 3, 4, and 5, like this. And we can see the 5 beautiful patterns form as well, or the waves. We end up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the last structure was the most important one to time because we wanted to count 5 specific waves coming down, just like that. And it pretty much did, right? So we hit around 136 level. Of this particular subwave, what we got was a retracement of 78.6, which is a very reasonable number. I've been calling that bottom for a while now, simply because 78.6 is the Fibonacci number of the month. It's been an incredibly popular region in general for most coins to correct to, for most sub waves. So let's take a look at how the momentum is looking. If we look at the RSI, it's actually reaching an RSI resistance right now. I apologize if my voice sounds a little bit coarse. I'm a little bit tired right now. It's almost bedtime. So we notice here that it's reaching an RSI resistance on the 3-hour chart, right? RSI resistance is usually meant to be broken when it hits it enough times. But I do believe that Litecoin will most likely correct a little right now before it makes a big run up. It also has that same type of hanging man candle that happened 3 hours ago. And now this candle here would be seen as a bearish spinning top. We just simply cannot break above the 55 EMA. Let's actually add another EMA in here for Litecoin. I only had it for Bitcoin, but I think it's fair for us to have it in here as well. If you guys don't know how to add indicators, click on your indicator tab, type in EMA. Actually, I'll delete it so I can show you guys. Click on indicator, type in EMA, click on it once, and you'll see a small little line show up on your chart. Double click on it. Not that one. Double click on this one right here. Nope. Make sure you're actually getting it. Nope, not again. There we go. Then change it to 100. Change it to a color that you like. I personally like white on this background here. And there we go. We should have it here now. So the 55 EMA is getting rejected very heavily, as we can see. It's been a major resistance area. And it's a major resistance because of these areas right here, right? There's a cluster of regions right there. And yeah, it's having a really tough time breaking it. Do you guys see where this wave 3 territory is? And this cluster right here? Of course, wherever there's a lot of activity in terms of having resistance or support, it'll also act as a support on the way up as well. But let's look at it on a lower time frame. It's been doing pretty much the exact same thing that Bitcoin has been doing for about 24 hours now. It's been getting a series of tops, right, that it just cannot break. We got to make note that the 2 hour looks like the MACD wants to cross over sometime soon. The 1 hour chart here, it actually already has crossed over. So it's just a matter of, is it going to level off and go upwards, or is it going to break down? Looking on the 45-minute chart right here, it was easy to tell as well. Like, these got a series of similar tops, but it was easy to tell it was going to break down earlier today simply because of this bearish diverging RSI. So RSI can be seen as diverging, definitely. So here we actually got a small bottom, if you guys take note right here, okay? This is kind of like an RSI resistance where it was reaching. The moment that it broke out of here, it bounced right above 47. So I can't help but wonder what the heck is going on right now in the market. There's been a lot of weird activity, as if there's a lot of strategy involved. Some people call it manipulation. I call it strategy. I call it strategy because, well, it's just a matter of, it's a game of trapping each other, right? So let's say we ended up calling this wave 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's A, B, C, right? And that's 5 right there. What we're now seeing is sideways action almost, right? We got this double top here, actually like a triple top if we were to call it that, okay? So I'm gonna call it right around here, okay? Right there. So right around here is where we just simply could not break above it. So a major resistance zone right now, as we can see, is about 161, 162. Now if we break above this, 161.73, 163, 618 is a key resistance to be breaking right now, and we just simply cannot break above it, right? Every time we get to this 161 range, downtrend, right? Lots of bull trapped regions right here, bull trap as well. So we'll have to wonder, how long is this going to sideways for? If we look at the retracement, right, I called this retracement right here that it was likely to break, because if you look at this coin, it's actually making that pattern, right? It was making a leading first wave diagonal. And for a leading first wave diagonal, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with very, very, very small first subwave, which can happen most times. This right here, this structure, we see this as ABC with a top that's higher than it, right? It's not an impulse wave up, so make sure we understand that right there. That's a B corrective structure because it's very bullish altogether. It ended up uptrending that much higher to the wave 3 territory, creating about a double top. And then we got a massive run down from 161 or 159, sorry, to, actually was it 161? No, 159 all the way down here. And earlier, I think it was today, right, in the morning, or yesterday rather, when I was doing my 6 coin summary, I mentioned that as well, that it's likely that it could downtrend to here, and I also called this as well this morning. So what I was saying was that there's a good chance it would bounce near the 618 Fibonacci level, and not the 618, sorry, I must be really tired, around the 382 Fibonacci level, so always keep an eye on that, and around the 100 moving region as well. So where we're finding support right now for Litecoin is right around here, right? That's the first swing low position, I'd say. Of course, there's this lower barrier as well at the 155.70. And then there's this range as well, right? Where we're seeing a cluster of regions right now at 154. So let's say that this ends up breaking down, guys. Well, it did break down earlier. We were getting this type of structure, right? An ascending triangle, but we broke out of it. So we have to wonder right now, is this actually a trap of some sort, right? Is it actually a trap of some sort where it's just a throw over to the bottom side before it actually uptrends? We've got to wonder these things all the time because we don't want to get trapped. So the best way to treat this right now, since this corrective structure is very difficult to see what it is, I mean, if I were to guess it, it most likely is something like that, right? We could be getting a retracement down to a lower level. I don't know exactly where it's going to get to, but you know, it could get anywhere between, let's say Bitcoin does end up correcting to the 8,200 or 8,000 range. This one's going to be dragged down to it as well, guys. It could be dragged down to anywhere down to these regions. And always keep in mind that the 618 is a very powerful level where there's a lot of bullish market sentiment for people to buy there. So if it does correct Bitcoin to 8,000, 8,200 range, you guys can easily expect Litecoin as well to correct to 147 to the 153 range. And we got to make note that this is where the first support was, and this is the second support as well. So it's a cluster of different supports, right? So guys, make note, like, if it breaks, honestly, like if it breaks below this structure right here, or this key support, 155, where this lower wick actually got, keep note of it. That's how you know that it'll most likely test this structure right here, 154. So if it breaks the 155 right here, okay, 155, and then it breaks 154 as well, you guys can start laddering your buys. Like, that's what I would do. I would start laddering my buys as it just gets lower and lower, right? Where you increase the size of your position, or you increase the size of your limit orders as it gets down lower. So you always want to play only a portion, only a small fraction of your wallet. Don't ever play 100% of your position. That's just silly in my opinion, okay? Or of your wallet size. So once again, if it breaks below 155, keep an eye at the 154, and then definitely want to consider maybe buying, right? Around these particular regions if it does correct. Now, if this Elliott wave count is actually wrong, and we're maybe getting some sort of A, B, C, D, E pattern, let's say we end up getting a very, very bullish type of pattern where it just keeps ascending, right? Let's say that this right here was easily your A, you know, your B, your C, your D, and then your E, and then you bounce upwards finally. You guys got to make note of this region right here. If it breaks above 161 all the way up to like 163-ish, then that's going to be a good sign, right? If it breaks above this right here, these clusters of supports, this would be the 161.74, then keep an eye on it. Not worth it to go long yet, because you might just get bull trapped like all these other ones, right? So if it does definitely break above this previous high, which was 163.34-ish, we'll say 163.50, that's a good time to go long. You would want to buy into strength, just in case I'm completely wrong. So we have to look at it from both the bearish and the bullish view always, right? And the bullish view is simply that if it breaks above these key regions right there, like 163, we'll say around 164, then definitely it's going to be very bullish, and this is the end of the correction. But we have to break through it with a lot of volume. Now, if we end up downtrending, make note of the 155, 154 region. If we end up downtrending, that's where you want to start laddering your buys to dollar cost average, right? So in terms of Elliott wave, it's a very difficult count to make right now. That A, B, C, D, E case was the only one that I could have really made so far. So I just want to give you guys a very quick Litecoin update with where it supports, resistances, RSI, candlestick analysis, and also Elliott wave stands. I'll be sure to give you guys a lot more Litecoin updates. I feel that I've nailed, not I've nailed, but we have nailed many targets throughout the past few weeks, I'd say. Ever since, you know, all the way, I've been following Litecoin very well since about this structure, I'd say, or right around here. So for about 12 days now, or 2 weeks, I've been following it well. And I'm sorry guys for leaving you hanging for a little bit, but I'm back into the Litecoin game, and I'll try to keep you guys updated more, okay? But actually, one more thing I wanted to say, like, I think I said it already, but let's say that that was A, B, and C, right? That could very likely be a case as well. So we have to argue many cases. Is that an A, B, C, D, E, where we end up coming, sorry, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming downwards to get 5 impulse waves down? So once again, make sure you guys are sticking those supports and resistances that I've identified, and I'll keep you guys updated tomorrow sometime in the morning. Have a great night. Thanks for watching my videos, guys. I'm going to create a quick post on this on Steemit. You guys are welcome to upvote it if you have the time. Have a great day. Bye now.